There are a plethora of things to do as a furry. You can engage with online communities, you can brush up on your art skills, you could be lazy and just doom scroll through furry IRL when you know you're supposed to be getting your laundry done. The possibilities are endless. So today what I'm going to be doing is passively interrogating the AI chatbot ChatGPT that we all know and love to glean some information on how much it knows about the furry fandom. So bear with me because as you probably know, this bot tends to give pretty long and extensively detailed responses, and I will be reading every word of each and every one of them. So, let's start with something simple. Write a short explanation on the basic principles of the furry fandom. Let's see what it says. The furry fandom is a subculture focused on anthropomorphic animals, animals with human traits like walking upright, talking, or wearing clothes. Shut up. Members of the fandom, called furries, often create and engage with original characters known as fursonas, which represent themselves in the community. These characters can be expressed through art, writing costumes called fursuits, and online or in-person roleplay. The fandom is rooted in creativity, self-expression, and community, and is typically inclusive and welcoming of diverse identities and interests. Okay, so that's pretty good. That is actually pretty accurate. I've been a furry for about 2 years now, and I'd say that based on my fairly extensive knowledge, that sounds pretty accurate. But let's go a little bit deeper. Let's see what else it knows. What's the next question that I should ask? Can you break down the concept of a fursona? Absolutely. A fursona, a blend of fur and persona, that's correct, is a fictional, often anthropomorphic animal character that represents a person within the furry fandom. It's essentially a personal avatar or alter ego, and it can be as simple or complex as the creator wants. Here's a breakdown of the concept. Representation of fursona can reflect the creator's personality or ideal self, a creative expression or identity, a fun fantasy-based version of themselves. Some furries use their fursonas to explore aspects of their identity, including gender, species, or traits they admire or wish they had. Species fursonas can be based on real animals, e.g. wolves, foxes, cats, mythical creatures, e.g. dragons, griffins, hybrids, or entirely original species. Those are the three main categories. The choice often has personal significance or is just based on what the person finds cool or appealing. Design. Fursonas typically have a visual design including fur color and markings, clothing or accessories, physical features like tails, wings, or glowing eyes. These designs are often depicted in drawings, badges, or full costumes, fursuits. Name and backstory. Many fursonas have names and may come with a backstory, personality traits, or even fictional worlds they live in, though not all do. For example, my fursona, her name is Solace. She is a fox-dragon hybrid, a mythical celestial race of beings called a cielos. The plural is cieli, and she is basically a divine being. Not quite immortal, but still pretty celestial, and mythical, and she was born into the royal family of Esther. Use in the fandom. People use fursonas to interact online, e.g. in forums, games, or social media, roleplay or write stories, commission or create art, attend conventions, and costume. In short, a fursona is a creative and often personal expression of self within the furry fandom, blending art, imagination, and identity. Okay, so far, ChatGPT is doing pretty good. But let's hit it with something else now. What are the main, I should rephrase that, what are the primary reasons for anti-furry stigma? Let's see how it responds to this. Anti-furry stigma often stems from misunderstanding, misinformation, and cultural bias. That's very correct. Here are the primary reasons behind it. Media misrepresentation. The media is a bitch. Sensationalist portrayals, early media coverage like from shows such as CSI or tabloid articles, focused on extreme or fringe elements of the fandom. Stop. I don't want to be logged in. Often linking it to fetishism or bizarre behavior. These portrayals created a lasting and inaccurate public perception that the fandom is inherently sexual or deviant, even though most of it is creative and community-based. Thank you, ChatGPT. Internet mockery and meme culture. The furry fandom became a frequent target of jokes, trolling, and harassment in online spaces, especially forums like 4chan and Reddit. Being different or highly expressive, especially with costumes and roleplay, made furries easy targets for ridicule in online subcultures that value irony or detachment. So the interesting thing about this is that when someone cosplays as, for example, Harry Potter, everyone's fine with that. The second a furry does it in a fursuit, it's a sexual thing. Sexual content association. While most furries are not involved in adult content, some parts of the fandom do explore sexuality just like in other fan communities. Every community has something sexual about it. Find me an online community that does not get sexual at all. I dare you. I will wait. However, outsiders often assume that this is the norm rather than the exception, leading to unfair generalizations. Nonconformity and identity expression. The furry fandom embraces non-traditional identity exploration like gender fluidity, LGBTQ+ identities, or non-human personas, which can be off-putting to more conservative or rigid social groups. Can be, more like it is. Furries challenge mainstream norms, and that can provoke discomfort or backlash. People hate anything that's different. Second, it's different, it's bad. That's the norm. Costumes and public perception. Fursuits and animal personas can be seen as strange or can seem strange or childish to outsiders, especially when worn in public or shared online. Visual distinctiveness often leads to misunderstanding, with some viewing it as escapism or social awkwardness taken too far. Summary: the stigma around furries isn't based on the reality of the fandom, which is mostly about creativity, community, and self-expression, but rather on distorted public narratives, internet mockery, and fear of the unfamiliar. As awareness grows more and more, people understand the fandom's true nature. That stigma has started to fade away in many circles. I hope. I have been noticing that lately. I hope that as we go along, more people become more accepting. That's usually what happens. I feel like we've come a long way with LGBTQ+ issues. Some people still refuse to acknowledge that non-binary people exist, so that makes me shed a little bit of a tear. But, as we go along, we do tend to progress more rather than go back, although that doesn't seem to be what's happening these days, unfortunately, for obvious reasons. Okay. Next question. Who are the most famous furries? This is more of an objective question, but I still figure it's worth asking. There are a few furries who have gained significant attention either within the fandom or in the wider public eye. Some of them are known for their artistic contributions, while others have gained fame through the media or the furry community's social impact. Here's a list of some of the most well-known furries. Kira the Wolf. Who they are? Kira the Wolf is one of the most famous furry YouTubers and content creators. Kira has been part of the furry community for many years, creating a lot of YouTube content related to the fandom, often focused on the furry lifestyle, conventions, and discussions about personas. Why they're famous? Kira is known for their open discussions about being a furry, and for being one of the few content creators to build a significant audience both in and outside the fandom. Hey Kira, I'm coming up on you. I'm a metalhead and a furry. Z the Zebra. Who they are. Z is a popular furry artist and streamer known for creating artwork and engaging with their audience through platforms like Twitch and Twitter. Why they're famous? Z gained popularity for their artwork and involvement in the furry community, as well as their outspoken advocacy for the fandom in public discussions. They are often considered a role model for many younger furries entering the community. Furry Dan. Who they are. Furry Dan is another influential figure in the furry YouTube scene. Why they're famous? Furry Dan is widely known for their content that explains the furry fandom to the broader public, debunking myths and helping people understand the fandom's core values. They've made videos that range from persona creation to discussing the history of the furry fandom, Anthrocon convention, and FurCon influences. Who they are. Anthrocon is the largest furry convention in the world. Wish I could go. Held annually in Pittsburgh. It's going on right now as of this video. While not a person per se, the convention itself has a massive influence on the furry fandom and the greater public's awareness of it. Why they're famous? Anthrocon and similar conventions like Furry Weekend Atlanta or Midwest Fur Fest have helped legitimize the furry fandom and bring attention to notable figures in the community. 5. The furry community's mascots, e.g. persona-related celebrities. Who they are. Some furries gain fame by embodying larger-than-life characters or mascots within the fandom. For example, Roxy the Fox, a popular online personality, or Kitsune, the embodiment of fox and kitsune-based personas, are notable figures within the community. Why they're famous? Many of these figures have cult followings, thanks to their art performances and social media presence. They engage directly with the fandom through interactive online personas, helping build the fandom's culture. 6. Bodhi. Who they are. Bodhi is a well-known furry artist with a focus on anthropomorphic art, especially of wolves, foxes, and other furry species. Why they're famous. Bodhi has been... oh my god, there's so many of these. You know what, I'm just going to... While there's no furry equivalent of a Hollywood star, per se, the fandom has created a wide range of influential, recognizable individuals, from content creators and artists to performers and activists. They shared creativity and culture in the community. The shared creativity and culture in the community make these figures beloved within the fandom. Their fame often comes from art, content creation, and community involvement, with many of them using their platforms to build understanding and promote the positive side of the furry world. Alright. I can't really clap because I got a broken hand right now. So we've got some pretty solid stuff so far. ChatGPT seems to know quite a bit. But now I'm going to throw it for a curveball. Because if any of y'all know Ethereal Phosphor, my good friend who I met at Galactic Camp in Alameda, let's see if ChatGPT knows Ethy. All right, Ethy. If you're out there, this one's for you. Are you familiar with the furry content creator Ethereal Phosphor? Stop. Yes, I'm familiar with the furry. Let's see. Phosphor is particularly famous for their furry art, which often explores vibrant, ethereal, and atmospheric themes. That's weird because, as far as I'm aware, I don't know if Ethy does art. Twitter and Fur Affinity, maybe. Streaming and engaging with fans on various social media platforms. I don't think this is. Damn. I think it's making shit up because I don't know. Okay, Ethy, if any of this is accurate, ping me in the comments. Let's do a let's do a myth bust here. Tell me in the comments how much of this is true and how much of it isn't. How much of this is accurate? I need to know. I need to know if ChatGPT is right here. Okay. So we got that out of the way. This doesn't seem 100% accurate, but I'm going to leave that up to Ethy. Next question. Write a metal song about furs. Fur and steel, first one. In the shadows we rise, no chains to bind us. We walk the night with claws that strike fear. From fur to steel, we'll tear the veil asunder. A world of beasts, we live our truth sincere. With fangs and tails, we're born to run the wild. We howl to the moon, unchained and free. Unmasked and unbroken, we stand defiled. In this world of chaos, we're the ones who see. Pre-chorus, we're the ones that you don't understand. Claws in the dirt and fire in our hands. We wear the skin of beasts, we don't hide. This is our kingdom where we collide. Chorus, fur and steel, we will fight, we will burn. Raise your paws to the sky, hear the world turn. The wild inside, unleashed and untamed. A furry revolution, we're never the same. Bars. That's serious fucking bars right there. All right, ChatGPT. All right, I see where you're going.